So now we are going to see about the sixth topic, which is fruit.
Okay.
So fruit is a matured ovary.
Okay.
So ovules develops into seeds. Here ovary develops into fruit. Okay. When the fruit is developed without fertilization of ovary, it is known as parthenocarpic.
Parthenocarp. Can you explain parthenocarpic?
Do you know how the fruit forms without fertilization?
Without fertilization? No.
What is fertilization?
So fertilization, growing the ovary, development of ovary.
Fertilization is that when pollen grains, if these are the pollen grains, and so this is a carpel.
Okay. This is pollen grains.
These are pollen grains, and this is carpel, this is stigma, this is ovary, here this is style. Okay, can you see? So this pollen grains from other flower or other plant, or in the same flower if it is bisexual, both male and female gametes. So this male pollen grains come in contact with the stigma.
How will it come contact with this? Will be inside here only, you know.
Which one?
This.
This is pollen grains.
Okay, where will it be?
Anther. This is filament. This is bilobed anther.
Okay.
Here in each lobe there will be two chambers. So this chamber will produce pollen grains.
Yeah.
This is male gamete. This is female gamete. How will female gamete produce pollens?
Okay.
Pollens is produced from anther. Okay. And from this pollen sacs, pollen grains are produced. Pollen grains are produced. And when these pollen grains are travelled by wind,
Okay.
or can be travelled by insects. So these insects catch these pollen grains and come to the stigma.
Okay.
So they will put this pollen grain to the stigma here, and the stigma accepts these pollen grains, and these pollen grains will come inside through the style.
Okay.
While coming to the style, these pollen grains will develop a pollen tube. So this is pollen tube.
Okay.
Can I draw it bigger?
Yeah.
So these pollen grains develop a pollen tube. Okay?
Every pollen grains.
Yes.
Each one of them.
So in this pollen tube, so some cells will be here. Male gametes will be here.
Okay.
So this male gamete will be divided into two. So it will divide into two, and it will become two male gametes, one here and one here. It will also reach inside the pollen tube. They will come down to the pollen tube. So these are two male gametes. Okay, two male gametes. So it is inside. We will study about this in deeply while coming to our 12th standard. So now we are seeing 11th standard. So this much knowledge is enough for us. So here two male gametes are produced. So these male gametes are travelled. These pollen grains are travelled with in this manner, with the pollen tube, with having a pollen tube and two gametes. This will be travelling here, and they come to the ovary, which is here. So generally this ovary have, I will draw a big structure of ovary here. Okay. So generally this ovary will be like this. Okay, and this is style. Okay, so this is ovary. Here one egg cell will be like this. One egg cell. Two synergids will be nearby the egg cell. Okay, this is egg cell. And these are synergids. And here two dipolar nuclei will be present at the center.
Okay.
And here there will be three antipodal cells. These are known as antipodal cells. These are dipolar nuclei Can you understand? So when these two male gametes come here and they reach at the bottom of the ovary,
Here.
yes, here,
Okay.
they'll be reaching here, and this synergid helps these pollen grains to travel into the egg cell.
Okay.
So one male gamete fuses with the egg cell and develops this egg cell into zygote. Can you understand?
Can you explain zygote?
Zygote is that it will be the seed. It will become seed and it will produce the next. It will become seed. Seed is nothing but zygote. And another nuclei and another male gamete. One male gamete fuses with the egg cell and becomes zygote. Another male gamete fuses with this dipolar nuclei.
Okay, dipolar nuclei.
And it will become 3 cells.
Three dipolar nuclei.
2 dipolar nuclei and 1 male gamete. It fuses together and it becomes endosperm.
Okay.
So this endosperm has chromosome number 3n.
Because 3 are there, so that
This is n chromosome number n chromosomes. This cell have n chromosomes and this male gamete have n chromosomes. So all the 3 together it will have 3 n chromosomes. So in the endosperm. Whereas in egg cell it has only 2n number of chromosomes because only 2 cells are fusing here.
Okay.
Can you understand? So this is known as fertilization. The one male gamete fuses here and another male gamete fuses here. Generally the fusion of male gamete with egg cell is known as fertilization. So here, since the 2 fertilization are taking place at the same time, it is known as double fertilization. Can you understand?
Okay.
So if this double fertilization happens only, a seed can develop.
Okay.
Therefore, a fruit also can develop. Can you understand? The other coverings will become a fruit. The covering of the ovary will become fruit.
This 3
That will degenerate.
That has no use. So why is it generating?
It is generating. Why it is generating? It is dividing and it is generating.
But there is no use of it. Okay.
So, if there is any use, we will be studying in our higher classes. But till now, they have not mentioned any use of those antipodal cells. So, if this double fertilization, fertilization of 2 male gametes happens only, if that happens only, we will be getting the fruit, seeds and everything. The seeds are nothing but the zygote, they are the seeds, and fruit is nothing but the covering of that seed. Covering of that ovules are known as fruit. Ovary wall, which ovary is fruit. Okay, this ovary becomes fruit and this ovule becomes seed.
Okay.
So if this happens only, we will be getting a fruit. Without fertilization, how will you get fruit?
Will not get fruit. Okay.
So without fertilization of ovary, if the fruit is developed, it is known as parthenocarpic fruit. Without the fertilization, it develops. So it is known as parthenocarpic fruits.
Okay.
Can you understand now what is the actual meaning of parthenocarpic?
Okay.
I think still you have some confusion.
No.
We will be discussing in detail about these concepts in our succeeding chapters. Okay. So parthenocarpic, can you understand, without the fertilization of ovary, and mature ovary is the fruit. Okay. So here wall are pericarp and seeds. So this fruit generally has wall, its wall. Fruit has its wall, or it is also known as pericarp, and seeds, it will be having seeds. Okay. So this pericarp, that is the wall of the fruit, this ovary can be dry or fleshy. It also can be dry. We are eating many fruits, right? Some are dry.
Mango it will be dry, another mango
In mango it is a little bit fleshy.
Yeah, fleshy, dry also is there. Raw mango, you are saying another mango also is there. No, raw mango is dry, the other mango is fleshy. Okay.
So this pericarp in some fruits is differentiated into outer epicarp,
Okay.
middle mesocarp, inner endocarp. So this together is known as pericarp. All these three together it is known as pericarp.
So what? So explain epicarp, mesocarp, and endocarp.
We will be discussing here.
Okay.
Okay, these three are the layers of pericarp. Pericarp and seeds are generally there. Epicarp is outer side. Middle mesocarp is at the middle.
Okay.
And inner endocarp is at the inside. That is generally the structure. And then the seeds inside that one.
This is all the covering, like
Yes.
atmosphere, it will be covering the seeds, inside the seeds, and okay, it will be protecting it.
So now coming to the examples like mango and coconut. So these two are fruits. Mango and coconut are fruits. So these fruits are generally known as drupe.
Droop, okay. Explain droop.
So drupe is nothing but the fruits, the category of fruits.
Category of fruits is called droop.
Some like in animal kingdom, insects are divided and into phylum, kingdom, class, order, family, and everything. So like that, fruits are divided, and these kinds of variety of fruits are known as drupe.
Which variety of fruits?
Mango and coconut.
Okay.
So, like, why we have classified into separately drupe? Because these are monocarpellary ovary, monocarpellary superior ovary. Because these have only one carpel. We have already studied what is monocarpellary. Yes, these have only one carpel, and they will be having only one seed.
Okay.
Okay, so it is therefore it is known as drupe. Okay, so here if you take the example of mango. So the pericarp of mango is differentiated to outer thin endocarp. So the outer layer, the skin of the mango. You just imagine mango. The outer layer is thin. Okay, you can cut it and you will be eating it, right? So outer is thin. So that one is known as outer thin epicarp. And inside the middle fleshy mesocarp, which you eat. Middle fleshy mesocarp, which is yellowish in color, which is juicy and you can eat them. And inner stony endocarp. Inner stony endocarp is nothing but inside seed, the outer covering will be there, right? So that is inner stony endocarp. Can you understand? So this is the pericarp, which is differentiated into three, and it will be having a seed also. So generally a fruit contains pericarp and seeds. Okay, so pericarp is differentiated into three, and there will be containing a seed. So now we saw about mangoes. This is epicarp. Imagine this is a mango, epicarp, mesocarp, seed, and this one is known as endocarp, the covering. So while you come to coconut, the mesocarp of coconut is fibrous. Mesocarp is the middle layer of your coconut. It is fibrous, which you will be cutting it and to get the inner endocarp.
Okay.
Can you understand? So it is fibrous like structure, whereas here mesocarp is fleshy. Okay. So these are generally the examples we are seeing. What is epicarp, mesocarp? To understand, we are seeing these examples. So this is generally about fruits. Okay. Can you understand everything? If do you have any doubts?
So coconut does not have endocarp.
It is having endocarp.
Coconut, what is an endocarp?
After fibrous, the stony layer will be there, right?
Yeah, that fiber will be there.
After that,
will be
yes,
there.
that is endocarp.
Then middle mesocarp.
Mesocarp is only fibrous.
Mesocarp is fibrous. Then inner carp.
No, I cannot understand what are you saying.
Endocarp is that strong layer.
Yeah. Mesocarp is middle.
Outer epicarp is not present.
Epicarp is present. That
Oh,
only.
that big thing. Okay.
So this is about coconut. Okay. So this is we are seeing generally about fruits. So from this there are only no subtopics under fruits. So there is only topic. And next we will discuss about seed. In seed we are going to discuss both monocot and dicot seeds. Okay. So after the topic fruit, now we are going to see the seventh topic, which is seed.
So there are two subtopics in seed, monocot and dicot.
Yes,
right?
yes, correct. So first we will generally see what is seed. We have discussed this already, but again we will see what is a seed. So generally these ovules, ovules are seeds inside ovules. So ovules are seeds. So after fertilization, the male gamete and female gamete, this ovule after fertilization becomes seed. Okay, ovule
Zygote.
inside the ovary.
See, this is zygote. Zygote.
That is no. Actually, you are wrong. This is totally an ovule.
Okay.
Inside the ovule, there are 3 antipodals, 1 egg cell, 2 synergid, and 2 dipolar nuclei. Can you understand?
Okay.
So this totally is an ovule. Can you
Then
understand?
you said the seed is a zygote, you said.
Inside the seed, the zygote is there.
Inside the
This
seed,
side, inside the seed. This totally is an ovule. Can you understand? So ovule with zygote and matured ovule is known as seed.
Seed.
And here this seed is made up of seed coat. It has one coat. It has a seed coat and embryo. Inside a seed there will be embryo. Embryo is nothing but the zygote and all other things which are present in our ovule. So it has seed coat and embryo generally. Okay. So here now we are going to see. Firstly, we are going to see about the structure. Only the structure of dicot seed. Can you understand? Oh my God. Okay.
Why?
I'll draw a diagram to explain them. So we'll just see, and when seeing I'll draw a diagram. Okay. And first one, we are going to see the structure of dicot seed. So here in dicot seed, the outermost covering is known as seed coat. This seed coat is divided into outer testa and inner tegment. It is both are seed coat. Actually a seed coat. Seed coat.
Seed coat. This side of the seed coat is called outer testa.
Testa,
This
inside
side of the seed coat is called inner tegment.
Inner tegment. Okay. So there are 2, outer testa and inner tegment.
If this is a seed, so inside of this side is
Tegment.
inner tegment.
Tegment.
This side of the seed is outer testa.
Testa.
Okay. Okay.
Can you understand?
Yeah.
So actually,
Okay, you put the arrow mark next.
wait. It is 2 coating like structure where
There is 2 coating.
only 1 coat. It is divided into 2.
Divided into 2. Yeah, we are dividing it into 2.
Yes, the first outer testa, inner tegment. Can you understand?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay. So now there is a hilum in this seed. So hilum is hilum is present in developing seeds. So it is present. So through hilum only these seeds are attached to the fruit inside.
Okay. Can you explain hilum?
Yes, I am explaining that one.
Okay, say.
Hilum is present in
Is present in
developing seeds, and this hilum helps the seed to attach to its fruit.
Okay.
Can you understand? If generally if this is a seed like structure, can you see here? If this is generally one seed, okay, most of one seed is like this. So this is a seed coat. This is a seed coat, okay, and here one small gap will be like this, or a round will be like this. So this one is hilum.
It's attached
So
both.
through this hilum, no, it is not attaching the seed itself. It is attaching the seed to the ovary.
Okay, it's attaching the seed
To the ovary, we are plucking the seed side in lemon. It is attached to that. So we are plucking like the, for example, in grapes, you will be seeing the seed is attached to that inside.
that stem like structure.
Yes. So it is attached through hilum. Okay, the mature seed will be attached to the ovary through hilum, to the fruit through hilum. And then below hilum, a small pore-like structure is there. It is known as micropyle. We are generally studying only about the structure of dicot seed. So it is known as micropyle. Okay. So micropyle performs a role in fertilization of the male gametes with the female gametes. Can you understand? It performs a role in fertilization of pollen, the male gamete with the egg cell. Okay, it helps to pass through. Okay, so it will generally study in this in sexual reproduction of flowering plants. Okay, so there is a small pore under the xylem which is known as micropyle. Okay, so next, within the seed coat, inside the seed coat, so there is an embryo. We have already studied. Embryo is nothing but the seed. The matured, that zygote is known as embryo, and this embryo has two cotyledons. Since we are studying about dicot seed, it has two cotyledons. So these cotyledons are fleshy.
In monocot seed, we have only one
cotyledon.
Okay.
So these cotyledons are fleshy. They are always fleshy, and they have reserved food materials in them. Okay, they are fleshy and have reserved food materials in them. Okay, so it will be like structure in dicot. It will be like this. So this is one cotyledon, this is another cotyledon, and there will be an embryonal axis. So here it is a radicle. Radicle you have seen, right? Radicle is there where root generates, and this one is plumule. Okay, this one is plumule. Plumule is where the shoot generates. Okay, so the cotyledon these are the cotyledons. So these cotyledons have reserved food materials in them, and the radicle and plumule are present at the both ends of the embryonal axis. See, can you see and can you understand?
Yeah.
And in some seeds like castor,
Okay.
endosperm stores food, serves as food storage tissue.
Food storage tissue. It will store food for
Do you know what is endosperm?
No.
We have discussed in last session actually.
Endosperm. Can you please repeat?
In fruit,
In fruit.
one male gamete fuses with the egg cell and forms zygote, which is the embryo. Other male gamete fuses with the dipolar nuclei, which is 3n number of chromosomes, which acts as endosperm. So this endosperm, it will generally be present in all seeds, in all ovules. Ovules. So ovules after some time become seeds. So in all ovules, endosperm is present. So in castor seed, in seed also this endosperm is present as food storage tissue. Okay, in some seeds it is present, but in some seed it is not there.
Okay.
But in all ovules it is present. Okay, and in some seeds like bean, gram and pea, the endosperm is not present. It is fully obtained by the zygote to grow. It will take the nutrition from this embryo and it will develop into
Okay. But this is depend on endosperm.
No, you are wrong.
Okay.
Wait, I'll explain you. So, no, what you said now?
This depends on zygote for growth.
No.
You said like that only.
It does not depend on zygote. No, I did not say like that.
Yeah. With only the zygote it will grow.
No. When these seeds are ovule, when they were ovule, they had endosperms in it.
Okay.
So these zygotes are dependent on endosperm.
Okay.
They'll get nutrition from this endosperm and they'll grow. So therefore endosperm will complete and it will get over and it will not be there in the mature seeds.
Oh, okay. You should say like that. Okay.
So bean, gram and pea, the endosperm is not present in mature seeds.
Okay.
So these seeds are known as non-endospermous seeds, and these seeds are known as endospermous seeds. Can you understand? So this is generally about the dicot, structure of dicot seed. So next we'll discuss about structure of monocot seed. So we have already seen the structure of dicot seed.
Under topic
Seed.
Okay.
So now we are going to see the structure of monocot seed. Okay. So here these monocot seeds are generally they are endospermic. Generally most of the seeds are endospermic.
Okay. There is no non-endosperm.
There is.
No amount of non-endosperm.
Yes. So we have discussed about endosperm in our dicot seed itself. So that those dipolar nuclei fuses with the main gamete and forms endosperm. So this endosperm nourishes the zygote. They give whatever the nutrition these zygote needs. And these endosperm, some seeds are persistent with this endosperm till they mature to
Some will
seeds.
complete and will go.
Yes. So here these monocot seeds, most of the seeds are endospermic. They have endosperm in it. Some seeds do not have, like orchids. So the seeds like orchids are not endospermic. These are monocot seeds. Okay. So here in maize, example, it is an example. Maize is an example where the seed coat of maize fuses with the fruit wall.
Fuses with the
Fruit wall, and this seed coat is membranous. Okay, it fuses with
Okay, explain membranous.
it is a membrane-like structure.
Membrane.
Yes.
Okay.
So this seed coat is fused with the fruit wall. That example is maize. Okay. And the outer covering of the endosperm, so the outer covering of the endosperm separates the embryo by proteinous layer called alluron layer.
Okay, can you explain that?
Yes, so that one is alluron layer.
Which
Where this one, yeah, that lines.
like
those.
ladder-like structure. This
Yes, this one is known as alluron layer. Okay. So this separates. This is a proteinous layer which separates the embryo. This is the embryo. Okay.
This is embryo.
It separates the embryo through alluron layer.
So it separates embryo and what? It separates embryo and?
It just separates. It just totally separates the embryo.
And the other part? There is no other part.
That's endosperm.
Here endosperm will be.
Yes.
We
Alluron.
cannot see
Yes.
endosperm.
Alluron layer separates the embryo and endosperm.
And
Okay.
endosperm, okay.
So that is endosperm, and this is embryo. And embryo is small and situated at the end of the seed, at the end of the seed, which is under the endosperm. Okay. And here in these monocot plants there is only one cotyledon. It is monocot. So this cotyledon is large shield-like cotyledon called scutellum. Generally in monocot plants there is only one cotyledon which is called as scutellum. Okay, which is called as scutellum.
Okay.
So with one cotyledon, it's scutellum. Okay, that is cotyledon, and these have plumule and radicle as it is present in that dicot plants. In dicot plants, plumule and radicle. So radicle generates into root and plumule generates into shoot. So here also in these seeds there is plumule and radicle. Okay. So here plumule is covered by a sheath called coleoptile and radicle is covered by a sheath called coleorhiza, like this. So if this is plumule, it is covered by a sheath called coleoptile, and if this is radicle, it is covered by a sheath called coleorhiza.
Okay, but this and this is connected here, okay?
Yes.
Okay.
And this is alluron layer, and this is generally the structure of monocot seed. This is the structure of monocot seed, and the structure of dicot plants we have already seen. So this is about seed. So next we are going to see about some families of flower, from family of plants.